All right. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are on this beautiful planet. Welcome to the Inner Circle Live Asian session. I'm your host for tonight's session, Benny Allen, along with my awesome partner, Mr. Ryan Carthage. And we're happy and grateful for each and every one of you being here with us this evening as we look to close out the week. So let's make sure that we turn off any and all distractions, grab a pen and paper, take lots of notes, and let's make sure that we participate and engage. So with that being said, if everybody can drop me a one in the chat, we are going to get right to it. All right. So, all right. I see a lot of ones coming in. Good evening, Jeremy. All right. Everybody else who just joined us. Okay. So let me click out of this area and we can check out some fundamentals, see what happened today. Ryan, good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well, bro. Good evening to you. Good evening, everybody. How you doing, man?
Doing great. Doing great. So this week went kind of fast, right? Well, you know it, we're right September already. So football season, start to see the leaves change, watch it cool down a little bit, and just keep right on rocking and rolling. So here we are. We'll take a look at trading economics. We see that the U.S. factory growth remains subdued. Okay. So the ISM manufacturing PMI was steady at 52.8 in August, the same as in July, beating market forecast of 52, but still holding at a more than 2-year low. New orders returned to expansion and prices softened again, while firms remain optimistic regarding demand. So just continuing to see the effects, right, of central bank monetary policy. We see here that U.S. futures flat ahead of key jobs report. That's typically what happens, right? We start to see some sideways movement in the market ahead of a big fundamental announcement. We know we've got non-farm payroll tomorrow. We see Japanese yen crosses 140 against the dollar. We were taking a look at that at some key levels. So it continued to move. What else? South Korea inflation slows more than expected. Okay. So we're starting to see things starting to kick in a little bit, and European stocks start September on a sour note. Hey, it is what it is, right? Got to get inflation under control. U.S. 10-year yield climbs to a 2.5-month high. Okay, so as the yield goes, the dollar goes, and we've seen that all this week with the U.S. dollar made a slight correction, and then it continued to the upside. But we'll see. We will see some that the dollar's getting kind of high, maybe due for a correction. I know tomorrow, non-farm, I think I was reading, I guess I could just look at the expectation for tomorrow. U.S. non-farm, 295. I seen one report said they were calling for 300K in regards to jobs. So right here is forecasted at 295, so that's close. So we'll see. We'll see what it comes in at tomorrow. If it's a miss, you may see the dollar correct. We got the unemployment rate tomorrow as well, and average hourly earnings. So it's always 3 key reports. It's not just one. I know, especially when you start trading, you hear a lot about the non-farm payroll and the volatility that the report can create. But oftentimes, traders who try to trade that report are not aware that it's just ultimately multiple reports that investors have to digest. Okay, so you may see an initial reaction one way, and then you may see the market take back some of the price action, whether it's to the upside or the downside. Maybe you'll see it completely reverse sometimes. So we kind of just like to feel our way through it. You know, if you're swing trading, you know, you got bigger trades on with larger targets, then a lot of your fundamental announcements, you can absorb it. But if you're intraday trading, then you want to be aware that these major reports are due to come out because it can move the market. Okay? So as a swing trader, the market moves 90, 100 pips, no biggie because you're swing trading higher time frames. But when you're on those lower time frames, it can really mess your trade up. Okay, if you're not trading in the direction that price action ultimately moves. So for the day trading and things like that, we say, hey, let's make sure that we wait for the dust to settle and see how the market moves after the fact. Okay, if you're that style of trader, right? Don't try to trade the report. Don't do it. Okay, we know that historically, when you look at broker data, that oftentimes non-farm payroll is one of those days where a lot of accounts get blown. All right, so we just want to make sure that that doesn't happen to any of you who are part of the inner circle. Right, anything to add fundamentally? I don't have too much because we know we got non-farm tomorrow. So
No, sir. Nothing right now. Just waiting to see what happens tomorrow.
gotcha. All right, so let's dive in and take a look at some of the setups. Well, matter of fact, we'll take a look at some of these dollar pairs ahead of the report. Let me click on over. We'll take a look at the US dollar. All right, hold on one second. All right, sorry about that. So let's take a look at the US dollar. We know from the daily, we had a harmonic, we had the correction to around that 382 up against support. And now we've pushed up around that 118, 127 zone, broke the weekly level. Okay, so we're sitting pretty high, right? So we'll see tomorrow with the report what happens with the dollar. It'll be quite interesting. It may be due for a correction. So we'll see. Non-farm acts as a catalyst in regards to whether or not that dollar gets a little bearish or if it continues bullish. All right, so that's where we are in regards to the dollar. Any questions? Definitely had another bullish day, right? Push through.
Hey Ben, before you continue, whoever's listed as Zoom user, can you please check your chat, please? Thank you, bro.
You're welcome. All right, so let's take a look at the pound dollar. Okay, so we'll come in, we'll take a look at it. We know that it's pushing short coming into this 114 level, right, which is huge low, major low that is coming into. So it's just a matter of now, right? Tomorrow will go a long way in helping us to determine whether or not that's going to correct a bit to the upside before continuing down, or if it's just going to continue to push down to test that low. Okay, so that's from a weekly perspective. So let's go to the daily, right? And we've got the nice ABCD wave moving. Okay, and we're right at this 118, 127, where we know that regardless, okay, got a nice double top here around the 61.8 up against weekly resistance. And now we're at this 118, 127 zone. And we know oftentimes you can't get a reaction there, right? So ultimately, we're looking at heading to this D extension. Okay, like so. Pull back and then a correction. Okay. So we'll see if we get price to react. And as we move down to the time frames, we look at the one, we posted, hey, we're in that 80-20 zone from the 1 hour. We haven't gotten that 382 on this 1 hour fib. So let's see if we could potentially get a reaction back to the upside. Now we may start to push sideways. Okay, may start to push sideways ahead of the report. So let's just wait and see. If we come to the 15, okay, this is what it's looking like on your cloud. So we got a nice move off the crossover. Okay. And it tried to test this level. Okay. That single span B tried to test the top of this bearish cloud, and we're corrected. It held. It held. So we'll see if this is just a correction, then a continuation. We know we've got a cloud up ahead that is bullish, and we've got our lagging span above price. So let's just continue to be patient to see what it wants to do. All right. Any questions on the pound dollar?
No.
No? All right. So if you're just a bear looking for continuation, then you're just gonna wait for it to get to your high price, okay? Whatever your trade plan calls for a high price, and then you're gonna look to get short. If you're already short, stay short, look for a new high price to add to the position potentially, right? If you get a nice correction on it, all right? But we have been, there's no doubt that we have been bearish, okay? So you have to make the decision whether you want to play that correction, wait for a high price and a continuation. But we are bearish on the pound dollar. It's been a beautiful move off the daily levels here to the downside. So when you look at right price came in and retest, you are down 700 pips. Okay. Top down analysis really works. Really works. I think it was Elaine had a question.
No, I was just checking because I was blocked using my iPad. So, and that's what I use every night.
You were a
So
Zoom user?
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, you were
Yeah.
showing up as Zoom user. I sent 5 messages trying to see who it was. And if I'm not able to verify who it is, then I remove it from the chat. So, or remove it from the meeting. So that's why you got removed.
Okay,
Thanks for logging back in.
I see if I update my stuff, but that's what I use every day. So
Yeah, it doesn't come in as Zoom user though. So you can change the name that displays.
Oh.
So if you do that, that'd be awesome.
all right.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And we just do that for security reasons to protect everybody in the group, right? We have paid members. There's a lot of liability there, so we have to do our best to make sure that everybody's protected. Appreciate it. So that's it on the pound dollar. I want to take a look at the NZD USD. All right, because we're coming into these lows just ahead of a report tomorrow, so we want to make sure that we review them. So if you look at this on the daily, you can see where it's pushed right back down into the 60.58 level. Okay. Beautiful swings, okay, that you can take advantage of if you're into swing trading. But now we're at support, right? Just ahead of non-farm payroll. Okay, here we are again. ABCD wave, ABCD. We're right at a D extension coming into that support. Okay. So tomorrow, it makes tomorrow interesting, being that especially, right, we have a new AB boundary on the 1. Okay, that's already formed. So we can see here where you got the inner outer trend line breaks. Yeah, see that? Right. And it's just been trending down off the highs. Now we're sitting here at this level. Okay, new AB boundary, D extension hit on the 4, major weekly level of support. Okay. So we want to pay attention to that. We go down to the 15. We've got an initial push off that level, right? Test it, couldn't break it. Now we're back down below the cloud, but we don't have anything bullish just yet. So we may stay flat overnight. It'll be interesting. I did post a small position on the pound dollar ahead of everything, but that's it. In regards to that, I didn't really do anything else with the dollar pairs. Any questions on that NZD USD? No?
No, sir.
All right. Appreciate it. So we know, right? So you see, I hope everybody sees like just understanding, right, how the sequence works, top-down analysis, major levels of support and resistance, how you can start to kind of build a forecast, right? And things to pay attention to, just like we talked for, I think it was a couple of weeks. Hey, these euros are coming into some major lows, right? We may see a reaction. What are some ideas in regards to what could be fundamentally be a catalyst for it? And then we saw that they moved. We got a reaction, and they came off the lows, and we could take advantage of it, right? So you start to see similar things here with your dollar pair. So if we come in and take a look at the UCAD, and we look at how, again, from a weekly level, look at how we're coming into this 132.25 area again. Okay, just ahead of that report. All right, so you come to your daily, and you got a more zoomed in look at it. But we're in that zone. All right, just ahead of tomorrow. And if you look here, look at that push. See? Push up. See how that got hit? See if fib is no longer highlighted? It's a beautiful ABCD move. Look at that. All right. Almost 300 pips. Okay. Now look, see how we're going through this? Just like we just saw on the other pair. Extensions hit on the 4, smaller wave, AB boundaries are already formed. Same thing over and over again, no matter what the pair. All right, ABCD move, boom. Okay. We marked up the potential for a long time ago. I don't know if you guys remember where we were playing around, right, with your harmonics. Okay, see? Took off. Okay, guard lead on us. Bang. Beautiful move. Now we're back in the same scenario. What's the market want to do? Okay, are we going to collapse for a correction, or is that report tomorrow morning? Is it just going to push it straight up through the roof? We will see. So that's where we are on the UCAD. Any questions?
No, sir.
All right. Okay. So we'll see. Now, dollar Swissy. This is our long swing of the year, potentially. All right. But we're moving up from the weekly. We know now that this is support. Okay, so we'll put that in. All right. That's a swing low. Weekly like that. Okay. And when we go down to our lower time frames, so look how that held. Right? It's hard to see this when you're down on your 15 or your 1 or your 5. But look straight across there, right? Our past support became future resistance, now acting as support again, and that level held. Okay, so if we come down to the daily, right around that 61.8 is where that U-turn occurred. And it's been driving up ever since. So look, we moved quite a ways. We took out a high. Guys, remember? Fundamentals, the staircase. Boom. Like to score a point, pull back. Okay. Here's the next level. Here's the next point for the Bulls to score. Can it take it out? But the question becomes, hey, do we correct first? Right? Do we see a correction? A retest of this level? If we're continuing and gaining enough momentum, enough buyers coming to the market at a new low price to push up through this 98.84 level? That's the question. Okay, that's the question. Seeing it's starting to stall a little bit. So if you come down to the 4, right, you just take your journey through the time frames. Take your journey through the time frames. We can see how, look, all right, high up in the zone. Okay, didn't get to that D extension, got a shallow retracement. Tomorrow will be interesting. Okay, when this is, that just gave us another level. See, on your 4. Okay, so now got a little zone action going on here. Price held like that. Okay. So once you get your charts marked up, you just go through and update them. All right, there we go. All right, so that's where we are, waiting, seeing what's going to happen. Here's our new fib. Okay. It's correcting. It's starting to give us a correction. $15. See how that's sitting up there around that level? in that zone. So if you don't want to use trend lines, just put your cloud on. Okay. Put your cloud on. Okay. Lower time frame, just a fractal of the higher time frame. See how that's starting to work its way through? See how if you go right to our 1 and you put your cloud on, it's fascinating. See where that's sitting? Now, if you go to your 5 and you put your cloud on, you already got a break. Fractals. Okay. Each time frame is just a fractal of his bigger brother. That's it. Okay. Questions? All right. So really pay attention to that, right? So how it could really help you, right? So look how it came through your 5-minute cloud first. Okay. Maybe that's your entry there. Do you add another entry when it breaks through your 15-minute cloud? Okay. Gives you even further confirmation to the downside, so on and so forth. Okay. Things to think about. Things to think about. Okay. So that's the dollar Swiss. And we'll take a look at this dollar yen. We know, look, we read the report, 140. We were looking at this last night. Started to break through. Okay. Got there. Sitting pretty high. Right. Broke that level. Double top didn't hold. Okay. Let's come to the 4. Let's see what we have on our cloud in regards to your Tinkerson and your Keterson. Like, you see how tight? That's pretty aggressive. That's a pretty explosive move. Look at that. Look how tight they're together still twisting, hanging in there, acting as strong support. Okay. All right, we're bullish. All right, look at the cloud break. Okay. You guys see how this lagging span can help you? You see how when it came up and it pushed, right? It pushed. So if you're willing to be a little bit more conservative, you see how when this move pushed up through here initially and went sideways, your lagging span hadn't gotten there yet? Okay. Hadn't gotten there. You got a crossover. You got your TK crossover, and you got the lagging span that broke the price. But look at the point in time, right? You can back test it on trading view, run it back and rewind it. But look at the point when price got here. Your lagging span wasn't anywhere near crossing that cloud yet. So sometimes that can save you, right? Just a little tip. Sometimes that lagging span can save you in regards to having to deal with drawdown, or if you had your stop below the cloud thinking, hey, I broke, even though that's a sideways move and those candles are small. So you might not have jumped that one. But if you can see here, if you had your stop below the cloud, you would be stopped out. But then look at what happened. Right? You got another crossover, and then it went. It went. So sometimes you're willing to be a little bit more patient, okay? And you add that extra confirmation with your lagging span, letting it break through. Then sometimes it can keep you out of some trouble. Okay, everybody follow me on that? Drop me a 1 in the chat. Awesome, Mary. So what pair was that, Mary? You said you came on profit earlier, waiting to get back in? Dollar Swiss. Okay, gotcha. I just saw that in the chat. All right, so there we go. So that's a strong move there. That's strong. So we'll see. We will see. If we take a look at the 1, we had our trend lines drawn. Still no break. It accelerated. Okay. Direction, speed, momentum of the market, potential entries. Trend lines are powerful, right? So here, see how it accelerated off that level? That's okay. You just draw your trend line. Boom. Just like that. And it continued up. Just continue to be patient. If you're long, you're in good shape. If you wait on a reversal and you missed the move, the big move, then you're looking to play that correction. You just have to continue to be patient. Right? So put the cloud on. Okay. See? So we'll see how it goes. See how it goes. Okay, here. 15. That's what we're looking like. Tomorrow could be awesome, especially if it creates a reversal situation. All right, so that is the dollar. Let's take a look at our euro dollar and our Aussie dollar. Look at the Aussie dollar first. And we know, right, we've just been bearish, right? We've been looking to stay bearish, and we broke through that level, 68.57, and we're looking for just a continuation. So it's just a matter of, hey, we've broken this level. Do we want to retest? Okay. Do we want to retest before continuing down? A dollar correction, the corrective move on the dollar can create that situation. Okay. So still holding Aussie. Good job. Good job, Cassandra. Absolutely well done, Mary. Good job on that. It's moving. So if you're swinging, just let it go. Right? Again, if you're swing trading, these corrections could just be an opportunity for you to add to the position if you want to, right? Or maybe not. So if we come down here and we look, and I'm clicking through these so everybody will just see how it flows through the time frames. The more you see it, the simpler it becomes, right? But you have to spend time with it, okay? Just like with anything you want to master, all right? But look, AB boundary, shallow, we've got a break, right? So do we correct? Okay, now with some of these levels, it's hard to tell with the dollar sometimes because it plays both sides of the coin. It acts as a safe haven. It can be a risk-on currency. So sometimes it's hard to tell. But when you look at some of these levels, right, with these dollar crosses, it's like if that dollar's due for a correction, it would make sense, right? Dollar correction, dollar weak, as you get a sell-off in the dollar, your Aussie can move up. Right, give you that correction. Okay, here's your one. All right, what happened there? Get that out. There's your 1 hour. AB boundary at the 118 level. Okay, so if you drop down to your 15, knowing where we are with the price action, that looks similar with the other dollar pairs, pound dollar, things like that. NZD, USD, starting to give you somewhat of a reaction. It's choppy, but it's reacting off the lows. And so if you put your cloud on, like so, hey. Okay. So let's go back. Spend time with your charts. Look, is it a USD? See that move off the lows? All right. Look at your pound USD. Okay. See that? See that move off the lows? Almost identical. Okay. Different speed. Okay. So let's take a look at your Euro USD. Look at what we got. Okay. Pressing into the lows. 99.51. All right. Look at where we are, just hovering. It should be boundary. Tomorrow's going to be quite interesting. All right. I was redoing this, so I don't have anything on here for us, my levels, but here it is, right? We've got to pull back to a 382. We've been falling short, but we're stalling. We know that that's that weekly level. It's holding everything up. Get those back in there, but if we go down to the 15, You guys see the similarity in the price action on your dollar crosses? See? Different rates of speed depending on the pair, but all in all, right? Look at similar. Okay, so we got some things potentially setting up here for us on our dollar crosses. Any questions on any of those ahead of tomorrow's big report?
Pretty clean, man.
Yeah, yeah. The more time you spend, it becomes so clear, right? It becomes clear. Always know where you are. So I want to look at the Euro Swissy. Okay, just waiting on them to reverse. Yep. So it's gonna tell us it's either gonna reverse or it's gonna continue to drive down. Eventually we'll get what we're looking for. And if you're short, if you're with the trend on a lot of those, then you're just gonna continue to clean up anyway. Okay, just gonna continue to clean up anyway. So, I did put in, Ryan talked to you about that. I did put in a few trades on here on the little fibers thing. I did have that jump off. So far so good, right? Put a few small positions in. So this one here, I lost one deal because I guess it was kind of a fat finger move on the Euro Oz. I didn't want to take it, but I actually closed it out like in a few cents profit, but the commission got me. So that one went down as an L. So we've won 3. We've made 188.3 pips. This is all messed. I don't know why that calculated like that right now. Maybe it's because of what happened with that position that I closed out on the Euro Aussie. So that'll correct itself. So this here is 408. What's a fat figure? Well, I didn't mean to get into the position. I thought I was setting up something else. So I got out. So you can see like let me see here on the entry price, was it right here? You see how it came out like 8 cents because I closed it, but the commission was 12, so it's -4. So that's a L. That's a loss. But once I realized that I closed it, that's what I mean by that, right? But yeah. So just a couple positions I put in small, just grinding it, making sure, right? Small positions. I was under leveraged on those positions. I was only in like 30, 40 cents. I could have traded a little bit higher, but so far so good, right? The pips caught some good moves. 188 pips. Take it. The one was there was 2 positions on the EJ, right? So one for 80, one for 35, and then the EuroCAD was a 72 pip move. Can I say this? Yeah, a 72 pip move, and then that's the one that I jumped in and jumped out. So on that one, so not bad, right? Not bad. Almost a 0.25% for the day. All right, so we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. 1,400 is the target. 6 months, and as it grows, as it grows, then we'll scale up. Right, we'll start trading larger and larger. All right, any questions on that? No. All right, hit them with some quick ones today. The market moved kind of fast, so
Indeed.
that was quick. So those are some quick hits right there that went. I did, like I said, I put in that I dripped that position in on the pound dollar. That's active right there at 40 cents. So we'll see what happens tomorrow on that. So I'm protected on that one in case it does go the other way. But if it goes my way, I will look to add to that position because it'll get moving, that pound dollar. So that's where we are. So we can see where we started. All right, start time, end time. Until next March to make $1,400 for 80,000. So that'll be fun. That'll be fun. All right. Where are we? I wanted to take a look at the Euro Swissy. And just to look at how, so we see on a daily how that pushed up off that zone that gave us that explosive move, but then it pushed us right into an 80-20 scenario up against that daily resistance. So look, here's that daily fib that I transferred down from the 4. So ultimately, this is your target, is that 382. But off the sub fib, we're looking for that correction. So you can play that, right? You can look to play. So if we go to the 1, we've got a fib. You can see how it's starting to dance right inside that cloud and it's pushing down. Say you got the crossover. Now it's, hey, do we get the cloud break on the 1? Because when you come to the 15, you already got the break. You guys see how you can catch positions. Okay. Off of those breaks, it gave you a pullback. If you take it here, you got some drawdown, but you're on the 15-minute, not bad. If you had to stop up above the cloud, you're still good. Okay. So now we're pushing sideways. It's a really good way to enter trades. Really good way to enter trades. Helps you with your patience. All right, so that's the Euro Swissy. Okay, so you make money on the way up, and then you can make money on the way down. Now, if you just, hey, I'm thinking of this trending long, then you wait for that to pull back some more, and then you look to get long on. Okay. This will be impacted tomorrow too. All right. Okay. Any questions on the Euro Swissy? So now we're in a up retracement zone. Okay. Seeing how far it wants to correct. Tomorrow, right? Strong fundamental occurrence. We'll see. If it has a negative impact on the Euro Swissy, you may see a turnover and push down to that 127. But right now, if you short that 80-20 and it does that, you're good. If it doesn't, right? If it doesn't, then it's going to go the other way. It's going to go with the trend. Very simple. It moves up, down, and sideways. All right. We see where we can fit in with that. The Euro JPY. Okay. We drew that up yesterday, and we talked about that enter the outer trend line break. Remember, right? We got it. Okay. For those of you who were with us last night, we got it. Enter the outer trend line. Boom. Now it's just a matter if we want to see it continue. We get a continuation to the downside. All right. There we are. That's your 4. Push right back down to this level we see here. It's holding that support. So now that's a correction. It's just a matter if it wants to turn over. Okay. So if we look at that in relation to the cloud, that aggressive inner trend line, look how it comes out. See? There's an inner trend line break. So if you break your outer trend line and you break your cloud, okay, we don't have a bearish signal or anything yet. Now we're just moving sideways. But then you say, okay, you start thinking daily support to outer trend line. Okay, just like how this gravitated into the outer trend line. Doesn't do that, then it's going to continue and make higher highs. Okay. That's what it looks like. See here, look at the breaks. Boom. Okay. Falls right in line with what we teach. Okay. Good tool. And that's your 15. All right, it's pushing sideways now. Any questions on the Euro JPY? That was a good play. That entered the outer trend line break was a good move.
Nice move, bro. No questions though.
All right, appreciate it. Appreciate it. Let's look at our let me go back and take a look at this pound dollar because I wonder how it's gonna move. I was trying to retest it again, right? I was wondering how that was gonna move ahead of this report. It'd be interesting to see. So you see how your Tinkerson and Keterson's moved under the price there to support it. We'll see if we get a breakout, because that gave us a new high on the 15 because of that pullback. See if it breaks out. Might not have enough momentum overnight, but we'll see. All righty. I want to take a look at this Aussie CAD. That's the 5. It's starting to move up on the 5.
That was a nice move to the downside.
It was, and it has been. So this is here. I was looking at that correction play, but here's the overall swing here. That's the overall swing there. That continues to move. That, man, off that daily. So you got another level here that you put in. Like that. So now we're holding below that level too. Okay. Definitely structured to the downside to continue. I just want to see if it was going to correct. This is a little rangy, right? So I was looking here because see on a 1, so it caught my eye. You got a new AB boundary. You see that? There like that. And so just a quick correction play. I was taking a look at, but on the 5 it broke through, but I don't know how that's going to fare. That's a lot to break through. We'll see. We'll see as we move through the night. It might just continue to move sideways, but I wanted to spot check that one. I wanted to take a look at gold. Before, because it is just continue. I haven't had to do anything to this markup. It's just, look at that, man.
Yeah.
Right. You come into those zones, right? If you could develop with these fibs, if you could develop a directional bias, man, especially if you're using, your daily, your 4-hour, things like that. And when that trade comes into your zone, if your directional bias is bearish, you start popping trades in. If you're swing trading and you just play it and put your stop, keep your stop wide and let it float, it's huge. It's huge dividends, man. When it continues with the trend, that's a monster, man, to the downside. But look at the last ABCD wave. Look at that. Yeah. So you guys see the difference, how we're not just focused on, one candle, right? One candle, we're looking at the overall move or one small little area on the chart. Right? We're zooming out and taking a major snapshot and understanding, right? You guys are learning something really powerful, right? How to take an overall view of the market. So you're not just caught up in here like, oh, can I get that back to resistance? Or, oh, can I get that back down to support? And you're in and out of trades. Like this is headed down, right? And over time, you just develop the patience to just ride the positions out, scale into your positions. It takes a while to get there, but now we got a new AB boundary. So the thing is tomorrow, right? Again, we're looking at gold versus the dollar. You see what things look like when the dollar is the counter currency, and then how it looks when the dollar is the base currency. So everything that's pinned against the dollar right now, okay, where that dollar is second, right, in the pair, is sitting at major lows. Opposite way, you're sitting at some major highs. So if that dollar starts to correct to the downside tomorrow, you may have a situation with gold where it moves up and gives you the correction, just the ebbs and flows of the market. So we'll see. Sit back and watch. Sit back and watch that. yeah, we'll continue to watch it. Lost my train of thought there, but so that's gold. I wonder what this I haven't checked back on this one in a while. What is going on with my charts with some of these stock pairs? I don't know. I had to get tech support on it, man. Getting frustrated with that a little bit. No, sometimes I have to just close. I have to just create a whole new chart. But you know, that got that Walmart off the lows, so I'll look at it on. I'll go look at it on Trading View later. But yeah, that kind of. Uh-oh, what is that? Oh, I don't want to be on that one. That's the index. That's the Swissy index. And here is right. Look at that. It's just testing, right? That Swiss yen. That yen is taking pretty good pounding again. Look how it just keeps knocking at the door, man. Knocking at the door. It's gonna be interesting to see how that reacts tomorrow too.
Yeah, I'm super curious, man. I'm super curious.
Huh. That hit and pulled back. So look at price action on that. Well, we got to have something to move the market. What a way to start in September. Let's see. It's holding at that backside. That's Joy's entry there. We need that to turn over. We need the bottom to fall out of this one here. You got support here, 1 hour support. It's more of a zone. There, like that.
You got that 1 hour resistance that's sitting at right now.
Yeah, right up above, eh?
Yeah. Trying like that, yeah. For your support.
It's amazing how, you know, just ahead of these major reports, how you just see things setting up, like the pairs setting up and people starting to jockey for position ahead of a major report. But yeah, that's a double top right there. That double topped. All right. Lots of notes on lots of pairs, everybody. If you're new, even if you're in a demo, right? Tomorrow is a really good day to have everything marked up and then just watch the price action to see how price reacts. There was another one. I want to go back and take a look at this Euro GBP, right? And this major move, right, with the break above that level, and now look how it's settling in a little bit. Okay, so you come down to the 4, that D extension is hit. Okay, you see how we got the high now, so that'll be a new fib popping in there soon. But now look, right? So how we drew that up on that correction. So we got the correction, right? Let me let's take this to the regular default. But that's why we don't mind playing those corrections, because the market moves in waves. See, look. See how we drew that up? You see, it'd be lovely if we could come down and get a test of that support. It'd be nice. But you see, you see how small everything is. Asian session anyway. But just ahead of tomorrow. Okay, it's just creeping along. Yeah, we were looking at that Aussie NZD, so we'll take a look at that here in a minute. But this one here is put this like this, and when you get those new AB boundaries, say you get it on the 1 and you drop down to the 15. Look at your break. You drop down a time frame. Look at that. See, those are solid plays. Okay. So if there's ever a signal, it's your new AB boundary. And then you take it from there. You take it from there. Right. Beautiful break and a push down. Okay. So we'll see. Let's take a look at this Aussie NZD. All right. pushed above that level at 111.81. It's dancing. We're in correction territory though. Who knows how that's going to shake out? We're pushing up for the Asian session. That may range for a bit. We're back above 111.81 out. That might get a little rangy. I'm gonna clear that off and just keep it like that. Yeah, this is doing the dance. There you go. So if you're in that one, you got your stop in place. Just let that one do what it's gonna do. Yeah, because the downside potential on that is huge. We're getting a lift now, but I mean, you've gotten a lift before and a collapse. You got a collapse and then a lift, right? So it's just ranging right now, trying to figure itself out. But you're still within your AB boundary on your one. Okay. Okay. So you got a sideways push and then it broke down. So it'll figure itself out. Still in play. Still in play on that one. Being very patient. Yeah. Yep, we could take a look at let me go and take a look at trading view real quick. We could take a quick look at that US 30. Let me go to indices and we'll look at this US 30 play. So we came into TP2. What you thinking? We're at the outer trend line. After a move like that, I'm flat ahead of tomorrow's report. I'm flat. I came in through 2 take profit levels. I'm at a 61.8. It's a monster correction that you caught. I am flat. It's no time to get greedy ahead of non-farm tomorrow. So I would be out because now you have a 61.8. You're right at the outer trend line. Okay, we're below the cloud, right? That's expected. But I would be flat on that right now. That's just my opinion. Kiki, what do you think?
Good question. Hold on, let me check my chart. Well, actually, I was looking for a retracement, which it did to that zone, that's tiny retracement, which it did. And I'm actually expecting it to come back to 3,100. 3,1000.
Right
That
here,
zone.
down at 3,100.
Yes, 3,100.
Okay.
What do you
You
think?
going? I'm flat ahead of tomorrow. Ahead of a major report. It didn't cleaned up to the downside. You know, because now this is just me, right? You playing your trade, your plan. I'm at an outer trend line. We do have a correction. So look at where we're sitting. Okay. Look at where we're sitting right here in this zone. So you could get price to turn back over. Right? Okay.
Right. Yeah.
It's testing that zone. Past support becoming future resistance. But because I cannot predict reports, especially like non-farm payroll. Because, if the market sees it if they digest all of the reports and they see it as a positive, even if it's just a bear rally, right, where you get that relief, like a relief rally from all of this downside pressure, you don't know how intense that's going to be, right? Now, here's the thing. If you've got your stop placement in, if you've managed to stop, say you rolled your stop down to above this high, right? then if it pushes up and it tops you out, then you got to stop out in profit. But if the reaction is negative to the report tomorrow, then you're still in the game and you roll over. So there's a few different ways. You think about that overnight on how you want to handle that, right? If you're still holding at this level and you're expecting 3,100, then maybe you reduce your trade. Maybe you take 50% off the table, 75% off, move your stop down above a
Okay.
high, either here or here.
Okay.
Okay. Because now, even if you say you take 75% off the table, the 25% that's left is a risk-free trade now. You can't lose any money on it if you adjust your stop in the profit. Okay. Or to
Okay.
break even from where you entered. You know, because
Yeah.
if it explodes to the downside, then you're good. You're good to your target. If you close everything out now and it explodes to the downside, well, the next correction, you just look to get back short. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So that's how if you know, if it decides to get long from here and it's going to continue its upward trend, then we've got time, because why? We know that the market is going to make higher highs and higher lows. If it becomes a major bullish move, then we know, look, it's going to break through resistance, it's going to break through, and it's going to pull back and test that. Then you got so much time on this that if you are using the cloud, you can wait for it to break through the cloud to get long. If it's going to get long, it's going to break through the cloud, right? So if you're using the indicator for that. So, but I'm, you know, as a trader, the first thing is to preserve capital, right? That's your first thing. So, you know, and when we say that, we don't mean, hey, don't ever lose. What we mean is that when you lose, you make sure that you control that loss. You control your risk. That's what we mean by that. And so if you're in profit, you make sure that you control it to the point where you don't lose all of your profit. Okay, so just play it smart. So manage the trade, adjust your stop. Okay, think about reducing taking something off the table so you feel good, right? And that's how I would do it if I was looking to stay in the game through the report. You know, if not, go flat and celebrate your good trade.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Any other questions on that? No.
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, look, Ryan, anything else that you're looking at before we wrap things up?
Can you take a look at that the Euro CAD? Made a nice retracement.
It did.
I'm looking.
It did. Yeah, I figure a lot of them bounce around. Probably that pound, dollar, everything. All the dollar pairs probably gonna bounce around. Euro will be impacted by that report. So, oh yeah,
we could get another leg down.
we could, for sure. What are we looking at right here? That's the daily. Look at that.
Yeah. So I took some profit off the table at the high, and I'm waiting to see if we get another leg down so I can add to it, add back to it for ultimate continuation higher.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, hey,
that's the only one I'm watching as of right now. Just sitting and waiting to see how things go tomorrow.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting. It'll be a nice way to start out the month.
That's for sure.
It'll tell us a lot about how the rest of that month is gonna go. Because we've got, how many central banks do we have in September? We've got the ECB, the Bank of England, and the US, right?
Well, no, we got next week we got Australia, we got Canada, and we got ECB. And that's just next week. Let me pull up the month. Yeah, on Tuesday we got the Aussie. Wednesday, we got CAD. Yeah, and then Thursday we got the Euro.
Oh wow! So they're coming out the gates.
Yeah, coming out quick. And then 15th we got Bank of England.
Oh yeah.
And then we got where we at? Got a little break, and then we got the dollar on the 21st.
Okay. So towards the end
And the
of the
Bank of Japan also on the 21st.
Okay.
Swissy on the 22nd.
Mm-hmm. Wow, it's gonna be a crazy month for volatility.
Yeah, big time, and kind of heavy early, and then second half of the month. So.
Got it. All right. Well, hey, big day tomorrow, everybody. Be patient. Be patient. Don't overtrade. Don't have a fear of missing out. Let the market do what it's gonna do. All right. We went through several pairs of nights, especially those U.S. crosses to keep an eye on. Keep an eye on gold. Right. We'll definitely see a reaction. We'll see a reaction out of everything pretty much, but definitely those dollar crosses will be interesting. Any other questions before we close out?
No, sir. I think we're good.
All right. Well, hey, we'll be posting stuff in the Facebook group tomorrow in regards to the results of that report. You know, key articles and things like that, talking about the numbers. And hey, everybody enjoy their Friday. And we will be here Saturday, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the weekly ritual. It'll be a good one, a good way to start out marking up the charts, especially after all of these reports and ahead of all these monetary policy meetings and decisions. So have a great night, everybody.